Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Lars from the video game ROKI. Just so you know, there's a coloring book that you can get through Amazon. Just follow the link in my description and you can get a coloring book to show me how you color to how I draw. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Alright, has anybody played this game yet? I think it's awesome. I already drew Tove, and so now I'm drawing Lars. And Lars is her little brother. And I'm trying to keep the I want to say the look, but I'm not really going for the look because, I mean, automatically whenever I draw, I always draw, you know, how I draw. It's the title of the thing, you know, but I mean, it's what my channel is called. But what I mean is I always draw them. I draw more like a cosplay style is basically what I call it, because I can't draw like movie people. I can't do caricatures. I can't make it look like the people from the actual shows or movies or video games and whatnot. And so a lot of times what I like to do is I like to give it my style, which is basically drawing someone that looks close to the actual people. And it's nice because, you know, I don't try to redraw the video game characters or the movie people or whatever. I just do it how I draw, and they look how I think they look, right? Or how I want them to look. So, like I said, most of the time, I make it look like a person, a real person, as if it was someone dressed up in cosplay as this character. I don't do it on purpose. I don't try to make it look like a cosplay character. I guess what I'm just saying is I can't draw actual likenesses, so mine end up looking close to it. They look like real people, but with cosplay features. Does that make sense? Am I just going on and on again? Probably. But yeah, so what I'm trying to say is I'm gonna make it look as much as I can like Lars, as if it was a real child dressed up like Lars. Does that make more sense? Good. If it doesn't, that's okay. Because again, like I said, this is how I draw. This is me getting silly with it. Okay, but the main thing is, I just want you to understand, is try to make it look like someone is wearing this outfit. Because a lot of times whenever we draw helmets or armor or you know, especially hats and stuff like that, we tend to not think about what is someone actually wearing this. And so it doesn't actually hold the shape of the head. So what I usually do is sketch out the entire body and make sure that it's wearable, like someone can actually wear this little outfit here. Okay. All right, and I guess that's also the thing about this is going to be super easy because, you know, he's basically wearing the big poncho and that's it. That's all we can really draw of Lars, you know? I mean, I guess I could add his patches on his knees and stuff like that, you know, but it's going to be pretty basic. But still, I love it. This is such a fun game. I got it on sale, and just because a lot of times what I do is I just go, I see what interests me, and then I check them out. And this one, I was going through the sale games, and this one kind of stood out to me. It's like, ooh, what is that? And man, it is beautiful. A beautiful game will get me every single time, even if it's silly or weird or strange. If it's beautiful, I'm playing. I'm in. That's all you got to do. All right, I think that's it. I got him kind of balancing on one foot, but I think that sketch is good enough. I think this will get me where I need to go. And we can start drawing. So let me erase some of these sketch lines, because especially like here underneath the poncho, I want my Sharpie to stand out, not these pencil lines. And so what I usually do is I throw the first few lines down just to try to get the positioning, and then I start adding more detail. And as I add more detail, I press harder. Those are my confidence lines. So when I erase lightly, the first few lines, the sketch lines, they erase pretty easily and they disappear. But the confidence lines, they take a little bit more to erase, so they stick around longer, and so I can see them as we're going. So that's what I'm going to use. I think I'm ready. Yeah, I can see where I'm going, so let's do this. So let's welcome all the skippers and get going. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because I do a different drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, mostly the fine point, but the pen's a little finer than the fine point and can find things that the fine point can't quite find. I've sketched the entire thing out. I've erased the majority of the sketch lines, but left myself enough to see where we're going to go. And if you want to see other video game tutorials or just basically anything, I've got a link right there for those, but just check out my playlist in general, because you're going to find probably what you're looking for already. I've done a lot of drawings. So I've got him. If his head was facing like this, he's turned a little bit like that. These are the eyes. And he's turned a little bit like this. So I've got him a little wide-eyed too. And so I'm going to draw the top of his lid like this. Draw the other one over like this. So see, I've got him facing that way. So I'm going to draw his retinas a little round, a little big, like that. Do the other one over here like this. And I'm just going to draw little dabs for his pupils, because in my Sharpies, these are so tiny that I really can't add too much anyway, and it'll start to bleed. So for the bottom of his eye, I'm just going to come in just a little bit like this, because I'm afraid it'll bleed too much if I try to hit the whole thing. And a lot of times I just do it with color anyway. So that's just to kind of show it as going towards the bottom of the eye, and I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to draw his brow, but I'm going to make it open. I'm going to make it hollow so I can color it in blonde later. Like this. Do the other one the same thing. A little thick, a little hollow, just so I can make him nice and pretty. And I'm going to have his head turned a little bit. Now, he's a child, so I'm going to kind of button his nose just a little bit. As you get older, you know your nose never stops growing. As you get older, it just constantly grows. It's slight, it's little, but it's tiny at first. It's a tiny little button nose. So I'm going to do that first, right here on his head. I mean, where else would you put the nose, right? And I want to draw the little bulb of it just a little bit, kind of like this, and that's it. Instead of drawing the bridge of the nose, I've just added just a hint of where the round bulb of it is. Then I'm going to do more with color. So I've got his mouth kind of open. He's kind of surprised, so I'm kind of going to have his tiny little open mouth like that. And that means I'm also going to draw his lips a little open like this, because they're kind of pursed and put together, and the more it's pursed and put together, it stands out, right? So now I'm going to draw just a few of his hairs just to show you where we are. And I'm going to stop right there, because now I want to draw his little furry edge of his hat after I draw the side of his face. So I'm going to come over here and do this. I'm going to draw the roundness of his face down to his chin, like that. I'm going to thicken up my line just a little bit. The only reason I'm doing this is because when I switch over to this Sharpie, you're going to see a huge difference in line width. So I'm trying to match how that's going to be. Now, I like to draw what's in front first, and then you draw what's behind. That way you don't accidentally draw through something, and plus it layers stuff, right? So his head is in front of the furry part, but the furry part is in front of his head over here. So as I'm curving back for the face, like this, I'm going to start to add the fur. And I'm just going to kind of do like this, just to give it a little poofy texture, like that. Then I'm gonna smooth this out a little bit. Okay. Something like that. And he's got some more hair coming off. So since we can see a little bit more here, I'm gonna go ahead and draw some of his hairline. Kind of something like that. But that's all we can see. Like his ears under here, but can't really see it because of the way it's going underneath that fur ball, you know? So I'm gonna kind of do more of it now. And I'm just kind of making it fuzzy furry. And I might go back over this with the other Sharpie because I kind of do want it a little bit thicker. You know, I was going for subtle, but it might be too thin, you know, because the features of the face are subtle. This, I might go bigger. Let's see. Let's start to draw the head and see what this looks like. Let's see, I'm gonna draw oh yeah, look. See, I'm gonna come back here for the top of the head, come back here for the roundness of this, coming in like that. And there's his shoulders. This side's coming in like that. It's a little too thin. So I'm gonna go ahead and try it out over here and see what it looks like. A little, there you go, a little fuzzy fur, you know? So yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead and go for it. I'm gonna go over that, and it doesn't matter. I'm not following it exact. I'm just trying to get that furry, fuzzy, poofy look, you know? There you go, something like that. Now, I'm gonna do more with color, but I will say there's like a, you know, a little bit of, it's a little bit bigger on maybe at the top, you know, and you can see a little bit of layers, something, just because there's so much of it. You know, just to give it that extra, that poofiness, that layered, squoosh. What's the word I'm looking for? But basically, yeah, the furry lining, you know? Plus, I want to try to see if I can follow this and thicken it up just a little bit, just again, to differentiate the face lines. If you're working with pencil, you don't have to worry about this. I'm just telling you what I'm doing because I'm working with a thick, thin Sharpie, how I'm just kind of making it look separate from his face. All right, I like that. I really like that. Okay, so I'm gonna add some lines for the top, just to show that it's a fuzzy material. Okay, now I do have his little poof balls that he's got like little tightening strings, you know, they're hanging, there's poof balls on the end of the strings. I think I'm gonna do that with this Sharpie first real fast, and then I'm gonna add the balls with the big Sharpie, but I wanted to do it with this, again, just to be subtle, not quite as thin as the face lines, again, so I'm gonna thicken it up just a little bit, but I wanted it hollow like this. And I was afraid if I did it with a big Sharpie, I wouldn't be able to control this line width, right? So there, thicker than the face lines, but thinner than the edge lines. You don't have to do this, I'm just telling you why I did it. Okay, and this one's flying up here, a little motion, a little action. And look, I don't have it perfect. See how I got thicker there and it's thinner there? That's all right, no big deal. What I'm trying to do is just make it parallel and make it hollow, right? So I'm trying not to bump into that other line. It's okay if I do, but I'm just trying not to. All right, cool. Now, poof ball. And I'm gonna do just like I did for the, oops, I dropped my cap here. I'm gonna do just like I did for the with the fuzzy furriness of that. So I'm just gonna come in here and just draw the puff, kind of like that. Same thing over here, a circle of sketchy line, basically, to give it like that poofy look. And again, I'll just do like a little bit of, you know, just to try to give it some kind of depth. You know, little stuff like that, that's all it takes. All right, so he's wearing a poncho, so that's pretty much the majority of his outfit here. So I'm gonna draw his shoulders like this. Same thing, this is a shoulder, and then they're kind of flying out because I kind of have them in like a jumping action pose, and I want this one up a little bit, so I'm gonna I'm gonna give it a little bit of a bump for the edge because it does have a white edge, so I'm kind of accenting that. Looks good. Now I'm just gonna follow my sketch. I just kind of have a flow in. You can see how I moved? I'm better at pulling than I am pushing, so I'm kind of pulling like this. And I just moved in a different position because I can't turn my paper like you can. Man, I wish I could turn my paper right now, but can't do it because it's taped down. Okay, so he's got an edge like I was talking about, so what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to follow it a little bit along the edge here, and then add like an extra little like a crease line like that. Let's do this one here too, just to give it, you know, some heft. All right, so here we go. I'm just gonna do this, and it's okay if it's not perfectly parallel. Accent, you know. I should probably just do it with color anyway, but you know, I think it's gonna look good for us to draw. Ooh, and look, I decided to do it like that too, where I'm not quite touching the line. I'm kind of picking it up and just kind of accenting it. Oh yeah, I decided to do an extra line here. Like that. Pretty cool, right? And there are little diamonds in it, so I'll go ahead and do it like this. Again, it's just white on orange, but I think if we do it like this, it'll kind of accent it a little bit better. Especially if we're just doing a black and white drawing right now. Plus it looks good, you know, it's a cool design. All right, so since that's pretty much covering a lot of his body, I've already drawn the rest of it, and every time you do something like this, make sure you draw the body. Make sure you draw the underneath part so you know you've got everything placed where it should be and proportionally. Since I've done that, I can go ahead and draw his arm out here like this, draw his little glove, his mitten, and draw his thumb up, his round old gloves, like that. And there's not much to them, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a little extra just to kind of give it some life, I guess, you know, because it's a mitten and your hands are, all the digits are covered up. Same thing with this one. I'm gonna draw this one down. I got the arm coming this way, down like this, and then I'm gonna draw the mitten. And this hand is just almost the opposite of that one, just kind of pointed down, but you're looking at the back of it, as opposed to this was the inside, this is the downside, or the backside, right? And that's it. So you can't really, again, with mittens, there's not a lot you can really do. I don't want to draw the creases in it like that because it's the backside. Maybe we'll do like the knuckles like that, just the bend, you know, just like that. And that's it, that's simple. So his pants, he's wearing like that onesie. So I'm gonna bring his leg down here, down into his boots. I'll go ahead and draw it for you so you see where we are. I'm gonna go back up for his leg, and I go across right there for his crotch, down to the other one, again down to the knee, or not the knee, the boots. And let me go ahead and draw. He's got patches on his leg like she does, but his are sewn on, so I know where it's going to be. I'm gonna go ahead and draw the little patches in the corner like this. Again, like those, it's white on the color, but I think it would look good if we go ahead and draw it like this. Now I'm gonna draw the patch underneath it. See, again, that's why you plan on what you're drawing first, and then you draw what's underneath. That way it looks like those are on top of that, right? A good plan will get you far. Okay, again, I'm gonna do I know where it's gonna be, so I'm gonna do the sewn little parts on it. All right, and because it's a onesie. I like adding like bend lines in the cloth because we know it's a soft material. All right, so now we're gonna draw his snow boots. It's gonna kind of come down like this. And he's on his toe on this one. So I'm just gonna kind of bring it down. I've got him pretty big. I just made him a little exaggerated, a little fun. Come down like this. There's his toe, or the heel. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw the bottom of the foot. Then go back and do the little tread. Like this. And see how I made it super big? Just fun, you know, something a little different. A little stylish, a little stylized. But I do like doing creases where boots are, or like where the leg bends, you know? It does look like he does have like a little tic-tac little highlight on the side right there, so we'll do that. And let's do this one. And this foot is more pointed than it is resting, because he's almost like jumping, running, or something, some kind of action pose. But it's more, you're looking at the front of the foot, or the top of the foot, than you are the side like this. Like that, so you can't really see as much of the tread, but you can see some. Like this. And like that, we'll just do a little bit of highlight of the bend, where maybe his foot kind of bends from the use of the shoe. And there you go. So I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is Lars from the video game ROKI. So here's how I colored it. Tell me what you think in the comments below, or show me what you did in our Discord group. Just have fun and make it your own, because remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures with How I Draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button for new videos.